Everyone, this is Nathan at AS. It was a great delight that I introduced Ron Hyman. Ron is the Executive Director for EngineeringCAS. EngineeringCAS is a product of Liaison. We've been a happy partner of Liaison and EngineeringCAS for a few years now. In fact, this is, Ron, if I'm counting correctly, I think this is your fourth EDI to speak at. So
it is, starting back at Niagara Falls.
Yeah, it's an international event. EngineeringCAS is a great service. ASC is happy to partner with Liaison on this, and I will turn the floor over to Ron.
Thank you, Nathan, and thank you to everybody listening in today, or for those who are listening on the recorded session. I do want to thank ASEE, as Nathan said, for allowing me to address the deans in now the fourth year. And I also want to thank Dr. Fortenberry, Nathan, for your commitment to our partnership that we started 4 years ago. One thing I've always enjoyed about this conference is the collaboration that goes on. And it's apparent that it doesn't just start and end with this meeting. It really goes throughout the year. And I think collaboration has never been so important. There are so many important issues being discussed this week. In the few minutes that I have today with you, I wanted to talk a little bit about EngineeringCAS, the joint initiative that ASEE and Liaison started together 4 years ago, and provide you an update. For those new to EngineeringCAS, EngineeringCAS stands for the Centralized Application Service. It is for graduate programs of engineering here in the US, and it makes it easy for applicants around the world to research and apply to one or many programs of engineering using this global directory. We're now in our fourth cycle. We have 34 schools on board, and that has doubled from last year, and that doubled from the year before. And that's exactly how, when we launch a new CAS, the life cycle naturally evolves. And so next year when I speak in Vegas, when we're all together, I'm hoping to tell you that we've got 70 schools on board. And then for this coming cycle, we are projecting over 50,000 applicants worldwide will use the platform to apply to engineering schools here in the US. But for the deans and for your campuses, it all comes down to helping you meet your enrollment goals. And so if you take a look at what engineering admissions is facing today, it's not just about filling seats. It's about finding the quality students. Concerned about, is the pool from China or India, is that going to be drying up? It's a movement to a more holistic admissions process. It's about meeting specific goals that I'm sure you have around international and domestic students. It's meeting your diversity goals. It's about keeping that admissions engine humming during a pandemic and what we've faced over the last 14, 15 months. And it's how do you recruit when recruiting has to change, when you can't travel and be in person and all that. So those are just some of the issues, challenges, goals that engineering admissions are facing today. And I know that's a lot to digest. And then it boggles my mind to think about all the different strategies that must be going on campus to address all these issues. And I think really that's where Liaison can help. And so we have been providing admissions and enrollment services for nearly 30 years. Virtually all graduate and professional degrees use one of our 42 centralized application services. And this platform has been built really to last and help you meet and again, beat your enrollment goals. And today we have over 31,000 programs domestically that are part of one of our 42 centralized application services. And it's growing every year. And so what we do at Liaison through EngineeringCAS is we really help you find the best fit students. We do this while by providing awareness through this globally available directory to potential applicants all over the world. We like to say that we enhance your recruiting efforts by providing marketing campaigns that are included with the CAS. And as I said, we're projecting 50,000 applicants this year. We will expose your programs to those applicants around the world and bring them into EngineeringCAS and help you recruit them. Our company is about 450 large now. We just acquired TargetX in the last 6 months. But over 200 of our staff are there dedicated to helping your team, your admission staff, doing a lot of the processes that they do day in and day out, opening up transcripts, answering phone calls, just putting together the entire application for review. And we do that. And it really helps give your team back time and that they can spend on recruiting. And I love to look at the data that we provide through analytics by Liaison. It's data that's at your fingertips that will provide you statistics on to check your progress versus your targets, compare yourselves year over year, or even to compare yourself to national averages. And then finally, I like to say it's being part of a community, all working together for the benefit of engineering education. Speaking of community, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank our advisory board. This advisory board's been around for a few years, and you may recognize some of the folks on this call. Of course, Dr. Jordan, Dr. DePaulo, who I think all of you know are very instrumental in what I like to say are being the eyes and ears of engineering education back to Liaison, back to EngineeringCAS, and really helping us create the best services that we can provide. And so this is one of two advisory boards, and I'm really pleased after talking for so many years about diversity to formally announce the creation of a diversity, equity, and inclusion advisory board. This was put together in the last several months, and you can see it really does consist of the affinity groups that are looking after the underrepresented and underserved population. We are committed to work together as a group to grow the domestic applicant pool of engineering students, really with an emphasis on the underrepresented students. And I think as we talk about community and sharing, information, I listened to Howard and Howard from Boeing's talk about diversity. And I think this is going to be a really important initiative for the corporate members of ASEE and other corporations, that we really do have the pipeline of tomorrow's innovators. And that's exciting, that we will see engineers coming through our pipeline, applying to grad school, be ready for internships, fellowships, career as we move forward. Some other items of interest I thought I'd share is we've created a LinkedIn group for engineering discussion. I'll show you how to join that in a moment here. We also have a recorded session that I did with Dr. Fortenberry a month ago, where it was a one-on-one conversation. It's recorded. Dr. Fortenberry shared his comments on student mental health, international students, preparing students for non-academic careers, and of course, diversity. So I'd ask you to think about, where does your campus need improvement? And not every school gets the same thing out of CAS. So if you look at, do you need to streamline your admissions process? Are you looking to increase the number of applications do you get? Are you looking to diversify your incoming class? Do you want better data, or do you want to be part of the community? So I'd say which are important to you, and let's chat about that. And then, I talked a lot about these different issues. And as you step away from this presentation and think about some of the things I said, you might have some questions, comments, and I want to address those real quickly before I wrap up. So a lot of schools will come back and say, well, our hands are tied. We have to work with Central Grad, the Central Grad office, and that we hear that more times than not. It's not a problem. We're used to it. We work with them. Wayne State University just signed up in the last couple of weeks. We work closely with their Central Grad office. Work really closely with Dr. Adams at UT Dallas, who, by the way, is on our DEI board, as well as Dr. Downing from Rose-Hulman. I forgot to mention them. I apologize. So with Dr. Adams, we worked closely with their Central Grad, and now UT Dallas is moving forward with joining EngineeringCAS. So we're used to that. You may be saying, we just implemented Slate or another homegrown application system. Not a problem. Our service, EngineeringCAS, like all of our CAS, are agnostic to CRM, SIS, and they're made to work hand in hand. We don't want to change your process. We just want to enhance your application and recruiting process. Or maybe you're saying, I don't have budget. The great news behind all of our application services, there are no fees. There's no fees to join EngineeringCAS. You can put all of your programs in the directory. We've been doing this model for almost 30 years. There's a nominal processing fee that applicants pay to submit applications, and it's well worth hearing from them. It's worth their time and effort. And then you may say, well, maybe I'm too big, maybe I'm too small. I'd look to some of the big schools like Texas A&M and talk to Dean Banks, soon to be president, Dean Banks, on June 1st at Texas A&M. Hear how it's working for her. perhaps talk to Dean Worley at Rose Hulman, relatively small engineering school, and see what it's done for them. And so it really is built for small schools, large schools, public, private, East Coast, West Coast. It can really work for everybody. And so we at Liaison really want to support the community. We understand that, not everybody's to join EngineeringCAS today. They're not ready to join today. But we do want to hear from you. We've got great sets of ears. We want to learn from you, and we would love to chat. So even though you may not be ready, we'd love to hear how you're going to meet your goals as we come out of this pandemic. And so we'd love to chat. And so let me finish up by giving you some information on how to reach out to us. Of course, you can reach out to me at rhyman@liaisonedu.com. Schedule a meeting right on my calendar using Drift. That's there. Contact me on LinkedIn, or you can call, text at my phone number listed there, 508-353-8880. Sounds like a commercial, 8880. And so I'd love to have a conversation with you or somebody on your team. I wish you safety, health, and happiness as we move through the year and we get through this crazy time. And I wish you a good rest of your meeting. Thanks so much for your time. And again, thanks to ASEE.